Hey everyone, welcome back to Low Luxury, the channel where I show you what authentic luxury clothing and streetwear looks like. But today, we are going very much to the luxury side of things by taking a look at this incredible piece from the luxury brand Lanvin. Now, that's not to say this piece itself, the design of it is like pure luxury. It actually has very streetwear vibes, as you'll see, but it's more just about the brand Lanvin in general, because they are France's oldest couture house, like older than like Louis Vuitton, any of those brands. They date back to the 1800s. So these guys are the OG high fashion guys. But the recent history of this house is actually kind of a lesson in what not to do if you want to do well within fashion. Like, they pushed out the creative director that had done so well for them for so many years. They had a bunch of designers that lasted like less than a year. But finally, they have a new designer as of a couple years ago. He came from Loewe and now he's at Lanvin, and he is trying to do some really cool stuff with the house. Some of this stuff I look at and it's just kind of a miss with me. It just doesn't do it for me. But then every once in a while, they put out a piece that just knocks it out of the park and I'm so in love with. And that is one of these pieces. This has actually been one of my grails for a little while now. So let's check it out. But first, I've looked into it, and a very small percentage of you are actually subscribed to the channel. It's completely free. Just press that button and you will not regret it. Thank you so much. So there it is right there, and as you can see, I love this so much. It's like a polo shirt, but then you've got these button-down striped sleeves. It kind of looks like, I feel like what you'd wear if you worked at a gas station convenience store or something, but, you know, make it super luxury. So this one was just calling to me and I had to have it. And now we're gonna learn everything about it. So let's start off, as we do, by taking a look at the retail tags that come with the piece. So this is a nice, just kind of matte black piece of cardstock, fairly bendy. As you can see, the kind of cardboardy texture there. And then printed on there in blue, it's just printed, you can't feel the letters or anything. You have the Lanvin logo up there, and then you get their brand print, and take a look at that font and everything. It actually reminds me a lot of the Balmain logo. I don't know why, Lanvin and Balmain, very similar, right? But that lettering, I'd say, is similar. Also kind of Valentino in a way. I guess all these houses just kind of really love this font here. But take a look at that, because that's going to be very specific, and it should look the same everywhere we see it. And then under that, you've got Paris, all caps. There's a good amount of space between each letter there too, as you can see. And then down at the bottom there in all caps, you've got their address in Paris, because of course they're a Paris luxury house. And on the back of that, we've got some good stuff. So first off here, we've got a rectangular white sticker. And this one, it may have come from the shop that sold it, but you've got shirt, sleeves, fabric, mix, polo. I'm guessing that's supposed to be short, but we'll forgive them. Oh, I almost missed the model number up at the top. You can see that matches the sticker underneath, which we'll check out in a second. But first, you've got your size, color. Actually, I don't know if that's the size. Oh man, I'm messing this up, you guys. No, it's not the size, because the size is down there. I should have planned this out better. But, you know, we just roll with it. We're having fun here, right? Anyway, size and the price there. Oh my God, that's a crazy price. Don't worry, guys, I did not pay $1,000 for this. I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. Anyway, let me peel this sticker back a bit so we can see the sticker underneath, because the one underneath is the one that Lanvin actually put under there and will be the same no matter where you buy it from. All right, well, as you can see, that completely failed. Like, I'm not getting this thing off. It'll just rip this sticker off completely. But the most important thing for sure is that model number there. And you can look things like that up to make sure. You should definitely look it up. And if a different piece comes up, it's a very bad sign. Then you get polo, mixed material, manches, chem. I have no idea what those are, but I guess that's the model name, perhaps in French. You've got model name, it keeps going down there. And then as you can see at the bottom, you've got your color there, and there's probably some other info there too. But hey, there's another sticker there, so we can't see it. But you get the idea, and we luckily get the most important part in that model number there. And these are all attached with this little woven black string here. And then that goes right up through the size tag, which is way off to the right of the brand tag at the back of the neck there. And speaking of that brand tag, let's take a look at that next. Why did I sing? I'm sorry, you guys. Now I can't stop. Ooh, I'm tone deaf. Okay, so Lanvin, they do have kind of a few different tags that they go to, but I would say that this one is the most common. So it's kind of like a gray silver embroidered tag here. You can see you get a black border at the top and bottom, and then centered in there you have the Lanvin brand logo there, brand print, I suppose. And if we turn that over, we can see the inverse colors there, and it's very nice and clean, pretty much an exact mirror of the other side. And then you can see the borders kind of come over the fold here, and then they end before they're cut off. And this tag is stitched right in to the back seam at the back of the neck here, so there's no visible stitches for that. And then stitched onto this from the back, as you can see, is the made in tag. So this is the same material, just kind of looped over. So you've got made at the front, and then in Italy, because again, you know, it's a French brand, but it's a luxury brand, so it's all made in Italy. You know how it goes. And then, as mentioned, you get the size tag way off to the right of that. And this one is actually just a white embroidered tag with an M in there for size medium. And the back of that guy is blank. And he also just goes right into that seam there. And next up, we've got to take a look at the care tags inside the shirt. So this is a super, super long tag here. It's just a matte white, kind of mid-weight plasticky tag here. The front is kind of smoother, whereas the back, it's got a little bit more texture to it almost that you can feel. It's interesting. You can see it's super, super cleanly and tightly circle stitched right into that seam there, and this would be on the left side of the shirt if you were wearing it. And then starting right up at the top, you've got the company name, which is Jean Lanvin SA, so that's the company name. And Jean, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce her name. I'm American, I'm sorry. I'm a brute, I can't pronounce things in French well. But that was the founder of the brand way back in the late 1800s. Under that, you get that address once again. You can see this is all center justified. Then you get a little gap, and then you get that model number, which should match the one that was on the retail tag that we saw on that sticker there. And we also get the 34 there, whatever that means. Maybe that's the color number. And then we get into the fabrication. So this one is 100% cotton. And they do that in 3 languages, separated with like the slashes. Then you get like the ribbing fabrication, that's cotton and polyamide, and elastane, of course. The embroidery is polyester. And we get a few washing symbols, 5 of them, and you can see they're quite kind of large in the bordering, like they've got a bit of black bleeding there. And then you've got your washing instructions very simply, you know, again with these slashes kind of separating them. Then in all caps down at the bottom, made in Italy. That's quite a bit bolder there. And as we saw, the back of that guy's completely blank. So if I zoom out so you can see it in context, you can see it's quite long. And now's my favorite part, because we get to take a look at all the unique elements of this shirt that... First off, let's take a look at that embroidery that they mentioned on those care tags. So this is at the pocket here on the right side of the chest. And it's white embroidery, but they leave these little kind of borders in there so that the red keeps poking through, really makes those letters pop. So of course, it's LNVN for Lanvin, and it's embroidered right into the top of the pocket there. And this part right here, it is dual layered, like it's folded over, as you can see, which means that you can't see any of that embroidery coming through to the other side. So if you see the backside of that stitching there, that's a bad sign. Speaking of that pocket, it's kind of like workwear inspired to me. Again, that kind of gas station vibe with these hard angles there and the double stitch. It kind of makes it look like the pocket on the back of jeans or something. And this also gives us a really good opportunity to look at the stitching, where you can see that every single stitch is perfect, even going around the curves, and not a single one is out of place. I love the color contrast at the collar. You get a nice little stripe of yellow in there. And as you can see, these are ribbed, and as we saw in the care tags, they've got a bit of stretch to them with a tiny bit of elastane in there, which you always like to see. And then that same kind of fabric is used to line the insides of these kind of polo necks here at the chest. So if I unbutton that, you can see that in there. It's so nice, the fabrication. It's so soft too if you feel it. They keep the button nice and simple, no branding or anything, but as you can see, very important, they use the same color thread that they do for the body of the shirt. So again, very important there. Of course, the really standout piece here are these sleeves. So what happens is you get the edge of this, the shirt, and that's double layered there. And then if we look inside, we actually have a bit of this like polyester lining here. It's very, very interesting. So I could actually feel right through into here, because these sleeves can actually snap off if you want to. So you could just wear it like a normal polo shirt. But I really think the sleeves make it. They're super important. But that is such a cool element that you can kind of switch it up if you want to. I love that. And it's more of like a thick kind of heavyweight, almost getting into like denim or cotton twill territory, but fairly like stiff and heavy, as I said. But I love that coloring. It's a kind of like grayish ivory off-white, and then these black. And these buttons are the same as the other one, but again, they're now using the white thread because the button appears on the white stripes here. And then the final kind of observation I want to make about this piece is that the body of the shirt, it is not your typical polo like cotton peak material. This is really like cotton jersey t-shirt material. So it's got a very kind of different silhouette, and in my opinion, a more comfortable and relaxed feel. So that is very, very welcome from my point of view. So now that we've checked all of that out, let's try this piece on to see how it feels and see how it fits. So let's talk about the fit first. I consider myself a true to size small. That's what I usually go for. From most brands, I get a size small. But I am very, very aware from previous bad experiences that a lot of these European luxury brands like to make their stuff very, very small for some reason. It just fits extra tight. Like, I guess they just say, well, if you're that rich, you should also be skinny or something. I don't know. So I was afraid of the piece being too small, so I got this one in a size medium. But somewhat to my surprise, I got it. And if anything, it's actually slightly oversized. So I'd say this is actually somewhere in between a true to size medium and large, actually. But I really don't mind that. I am totally fine with wearing things a bit oversized. It's very much within my wheelhouse style-wise, so I'm still perfectly happy here. However, if you're looking for a piece from them, in that case, I would say just go with your normal size. It's not so oversized that I'd worry about it, and it definitely does not fit small or anything. The feel is fantastic. I sometimes have issues with the kind of heaviness or the feel of the cotton peak type polos that you'd usually feel, but as I mentioned already, this is really more t-shirt material and very comfortable t-shirt material at that. So I'm honestly ecstatic with that. Like, I can't wait to wear this piece all over town, all over the place, cough all over everybody, you know, just get out there. I'll be so happy. I'm not gonna cough all over anybody. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It was a joke. I'm not gonna do it. It was a bad joke. Okay, obviously I'm tired and this quarantine's been going on too long, so let's leave that there. So that is how you tell the difference between real and fake Lanvin clothing. Take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.